Welcome back to Metal Massacre. I'm your host, Lucian, the weirdo with the beardo, alongside my co-host, Dustin, the czar of Nar, with another Dustin here today. Dustin Treinen of Pariah and the Man from Alphabet, our longtime friend and co-conspirator, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Buddy, I'm so happy to have you back. Before we get into what we're talking about, it's just been a minute, man. I feel like I've constantly been talking to Dustin like, okay, Pariah's album dropped. Should we do an episode on that? And if so, when? And I know you've been busy, so it's been this whole like weird vortex of our timelines just never matching up. You reached out to me about this, and immediately when you did, I was telling you before we recorded, I went, oh man, that's really touching that he like thought of me for this, because it is right up my alley. This whole project you did and the song you did specifically, right up my alley, folks. If you haven't been able to guess yet, we're talking Popeye the Slayer Man, probably one of the goofiest things I've ever thought about in the last couple of weeks. Came out. I checked it out last night on Amazon Prime. And Dustin's band, the Man from Alphabet, was actually like the band to do the song for this movie. So if you stay through the credits, you'll get to hear their new song. Dude, good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on again. I love that being a regular with you guys. It's like you guys feel like just like friends and homies and buddies at this point, you know.
We're awesome. Like Conan O'Brien, and you're our Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's always fun to have you on. The episodes get kind of crazy. We'll get talking about random shit, but I'll always have you on for anything you're doing, because A, you're a great guy, but B, like, you do some pretty cool shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, thank you, and thank you. I would like to request that I get like some kind of cool rhyming nickname like you guys both have. Weirdo with the beardo, and the what was yours, Dustin? The Nar with the Czar, or did I get
the Czar of Nar?
Yeah,
Nar.
I will
think of one for you. I don't know.
That's pretty sweet. I hadn't heard yours, Dustin. I've heard weirdo with the beardo a lot, but I hadn't caught yours yet. So.
What's funny is, again, now, like, we know it's working because we've had a few, like, now we've had people be like, I think it was John from Warbringer was like, well, that'd be a sick album name. Why did I not like? Yeah. And then like at the same time, it was Tyler from Villains. He was like, I really want a nickname. Traders. He was like, I don't want to go through this whole show without having a nickname. Like, this doesn't seem fair. So.
Yeah, we had to make him one by the end of it, and it was so forced I didn't know what to do. I was like, these were just natural. I don't know how to come up with one on the spot.
She was wearing a Dale Earnhardt jersey, so I just said, you got to be the Intimidator, dude.
Yeah, yeah, we'll think of one for you. So next time you come on, we'll be able to use it. That'd be fun.
Yeah, you know, like how like a lot of podcasts have. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Cat says hello. Cat. The bro with Cosmo.
Yeah.
That's his name. You know, there's a lot of podcasts have like their little sort of staple, and they're like Conan's is like, I'm so and so, and I feel blank about being Conan O'Brien's friend. It's like,
oh yeah.
Maybe that's your thing. Is like you introduce the person, and you're like, this is the I don't know.
That's good. No, you got a
insert nickname here.
You're cooking.
Bad idea. Maybe we start doing this now. Every time we know we're gonna have an interview, we just do some research on the person and we make them a nickname. That could be
surprise them with it right at the top.
Yeah. What the fuck you call me? Like,
we're gonna get a couple of those.
Okay, I will say, just because again we're having fun. Like the one, because we had to do one solo. I think it was Novelist. The girl, she was fantastic. Nora was her name, but like I was like, oh shit, how do I start this one? Because it's just me, so it doesn't make sense to do the nickname. And I said something along the lines of like this whole process is run by a small hive of bees inside of my computer tower. And like she kind of gave me that like, I don't know if I'm translating English right kind of thing.
Right, like what are you saying?
Like, is this a saying? Because it wasn't so much that it wasn't like, oh, that's not funny. It's like, is something wrong?
Yeah.
Like, oh no, you're fine. We just got to make a dumb joke.
She's like, how did you train all those bees?
Right.
It's processing. That's
a crazy time, but
interesting. That's awesome.
No, man, for real though. Like you said, you're an interesting fella, and I do want to talk about Popeye and the movie and like kind of what it was like to be around it, because you got to go to the premiere. So all of those are interesting experiences. But just to start broadly, you are interesting. Like I said, you do voice acting. I know you're trying to like you're in with people that like have red carpet premieres, but then you also are trying to do some of your own voice acting. You're playing music. you're spreading yourself. Someone who also feels like sometimes I spread myself thin and maybe it takes away from stuff. It doesn't ever seem that way with you. Like, I'm sure that we portray ourselves in a certain way online. So but
I'm flattered that it looks that way. But, man,
he's like, it don't feel that way.
It doesn't at all. I feel like I'm spread so thin all the time, but
you are like, you've been dabbling. Have you been able to do any like voice work or anything like that as of lately that you've been really working on? Or
for me, my goal is to be able to do like animation and like video game voices. But almost all of the work I've gotten has been like internal business work where it's like someone like I've done like training videos. So it's only like I do it for some company and it's for them to train their employees. And it usually is things that require a little bit of a more uppity, like fun animated style voice, but it's stuff that doesn't get to see the public eye. So it doesn't seem like I'm as busy with it as I am, but you know what I mean?
You got the reps in, but now you just need that right project that's going to showcase it to the right people. You know what I mean? Yeah, I get that for sure.
I've had the only thing I've had that's been public was I did a trailer for a video game called It's a Wrap.
Oh,
so yeah, so it's funny. It's the premise of the game is that your character is a stunt person and you have this whole sort of like level that you have to get them through, and you have to adjust all the obstacles so that the timing is right for the character to get through the thing correctly.
That's kind of cool.
So you think like in Indiana Jones where he's running out of the cave and there's like a boulder and then there's the arrows that shoot and stuff, so you have to like time all those things so that your guy doesn't get killed.
Yeah, this looks fun. It's a really good 2D side platformer. Like, I'm watching the Steam replay on there, and it's like when you die, then it's like, hey, cut, and it makes you kind of like redo an action scene and like rebuild the stage and be like, all right, take 2, and then like having that's cute. This thing is fun.
That's really cool. Hell yeah.
They wanted it to be like an 80s style rap for it, so I like recorded the whole song, and apparently they had several voice actors do the whole song, and then they sort of just like cherry picked little lines here and there. So I ended up having a handful of lines in there. Like I'm all the like there's like kind of a hype man sort of crowd in it. Those are all me. It's like me stacked with like 8 different voices 8 times.
Oh, we're gonna play this game on stream now, and we're gonna
Dustin. Like, it's a rap, or I'm like, it's a rap, and just make it sound like a bunch of different people, then and put them on top of each other. It sounds like a crowd, but it's just me.
That's awesome. Yeah,
that's cool, man. Like that's super interesting to me because again, I'm a big gamer myself, and so I listen to a lot of podcasts that are in that realm, or they talk to insiders in that area. And I actually just was listening to one the other day that was I believe it was on IGN, but they got the fella because I didn't know we were going down this lane. I don't have it in front of me, but which is great. They had the fella that did like Kratos's body mocap, and then he also did like a bunch of the different Mortal Kombat characters and got to do like all their fatalities and like their moves. But he was like the question they asked, which I don't know if it's more of a question or something I'm going to draw to you, is like they asked him directly, like, so how do you get, if you want to do like voice acting or like mocapping, like how do you get into that style of acting for video games? And he was like, I don't know.
It just kind of happened.
Because he's like, you do reels and like you do TikToks, you do that kind of stuff, and so I might grab you that way because it's all entertainment based. But for the most part, like it's not like you have headshots or like a monologue or something like an actor generally does, where if you're trying to go down that route and you're doing auditions, you still have auditions, but they usually are like, you just got to be kind of a zany dude. You just got to have a personality, and you have to have like a reel, and like you have to try and just constantly post everything you're doing and hope that you get lucky, but then translate that into very specific work because you're putting itself not into animation always. It's like generally like a lot of background and cutscenes and like being able to really portray something like 2 seconds. And so I suppose like, again, there's not really a question I have for you, but it's just fascinating to try and think of like the development cycle you have to go down for that, as opposed to, it's like if you're told you're supposed to go to college, but then when you get to college and you can just kind of get a degree. And then
you're like, what do I do?
What is this going to end up being?
Yeah. I will say that, the mocap world is very kind of mysterious to me too, as to like you said, like how do you get into it and stuff. And the one person I know who's done a lot of it, he was like had a gymnastics background.
Oh wow!
So,
yeah, that makes
so that like
sense.
made a lot of sense because he could do all these crazy balancing things and do flips and stuff like that. So like that made a lot of sense. But then again, it's like what door do you put your foot into to get into that is kind of like a mystery to me too.
Yeah, that fell in specific. That's a take up all the time, so we can move on. But like that fell in specific is that he got found because he was just like being goofy when TikTok first came out and was like, here's Eddie Gordo from Tekken 3 and like the start animation move that he does. Like he was like, I could do that move for move because I've been doing martial arts for 25 years. And so he just did like, here's Paul Phoenix from Tekken 4, and then like just like did the moves and everything, and then just caught some developer and they were like,
oh, that's our guy. Yeah.
That guy's obviously he's got the brain for it.
It almost sounds like a test that they would automatically give you anyways. Like, hey, match a couple of these moves and see if you can do it spot for spot. True. And then if you can do that, it's probably pretty likely that you could do other moves spot for spot. So
the acting world's an enigma, man. Like you live out there, but Hollywood is just like you just get in sometimes. Like it's just what you do.
So I gotta know.
Have to keep working on stuff and hope that it catches on. And I know a lot of stunt performers too have backgrounds in either. I was starting to look into it when I was younger and a little more able-bodied. And one of my friends who had done some of it said, like, you basically either have to have a martial arts background or a gymnastics background, and that's how those people tend to get into stunts. And I'm assuming it's just kind of a lot of those things where like once you're in that community and stuff,
you're at the gyms.
There's schools and stuff for that here too. Not like big universities, but it's like there's places you can go in Hollywood where it's like, oh, this is a stunt performer school where you learn how to do all that stuff. And I'm guessing you get through those schools and they have some sort of like, oh, here's where you apply for these things. That's just sort of my assumption.
I can see that for sure.
Yeah.
Huh. So I gotta know, we're talking about like finding the right opportunity and how to do it for stunt performing, but like how did you find this opportunity with Popeye? Did they reach out to Man from Alphabet, or did you guys turn in a song already? Like how did that come to be?
Yeah, so great question. So it got announced in November, right? And the announcement they made had Angela, who's the vocalist on the song, and she's also an actress in the movie, as you know. She's a close friend of mine. I know her through the vegan community, oddly enough. So like not even related to music or acting or anything. It's just like we're both vegan people that she was working at Vegan Street Fair, this big event out here as a social media person a few years ago, and I used to do pop-up events, so I had a booth there and we started chatting and whatever. And so anyway, that movie gets announced, and she is as an actress, so she was like the headlining name on a lot of the announcements of like Angela Lucio's in this new Popeye the Slayer Man movie coming out. And so I hit her up, and this is back in November, right after Pariah's record came out, and I'm like, hey, like if you have any room in that soundtrack or need any music, my thrash metal band just put out a new album. And also I should backpedal a little bit through her, some of the other people on the film that are like the director and the producer are close friends of hers. So like I've hung out with them a lot in
cool
friend circles. Like last October, we all went to Halloween Horror Nights, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with at Universal Studios.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing you post about that actually.
So that was with the producer and the director of Popeye. Oddly enough, at that time I didn't know that they were doing that because it was pretty secretive. But so anyway, I hit up Angela and asked her, about trying to get some Pariah music into it, and she's like, "Yeah, maybe I can shoot this over to them, but I really want to write a theme song. Like, are you capable of doing that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can do that."
Yeah.
So she's like, "Yeah, there's this 90-second thing at the end of at the start of the credits, like the motion graphics part of the credits." And she's like, right now they just have some, royalty-free kind of sound library hard rock thing. And she's like, do you think you could do something like that? And I'm like, yeah. She shows it to me. I'm like, I can do something way cooler than this.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So we had to move very fast on it because the movie was like done and they were like getting ready to already send it out to distributors and to potentially sell it for that. So that conversation her and I had was on a Monday. So then over that weekend, I was still working my regular job. So like before and after I was going to work, I was like writing guitar riffs and stuff. And she just wrote a bunch of random lyrics, like having no idea what the melodies were going to be.
Just some Popeye related stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. Just like she, and I of course hadn't seen the movie, so I'm like, I can't contribute too much to what this character is about at that point. So anyway, I hit up Kyle, who's the primarily the drummer on it. He's got a studio, and his drums are always set up and ready to go because that's what he does full time. And he's a multi-instrumentalist, an engineer. So I hit him up as soon as Angela and I had that conversation on Friday. I'm like, hey, you're interested in, tell him about the thing. And he's like, dude, it's so weird. I never listened to the radio, but this morning when I was driving my son to school, I had the radio on and they were talking about that movie.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. So it's like this really weird coincidence. Yeah. So he's like, yeah, I'm down. So yeah, then so I booked time with him on a Monday afternoon and brought all the riffs that I had created, and Angela emailed us lyrics, and him and I composed all the music and the melodies together that afternoon. And we took Angela's lyrics and sort of made them into the melodies. And, we had to like just sort of cherry pick lots of words and phrases here and there to just make it work with the melodies we came up with. And then, she came in that night and sang the stuff that we had. We did scratch tracks of the vocals, so she just could like come in and basically have like a guideline of like, here's what to do, and just sing on top of it.
Really
and
smart.
Then we just deleted our vocals and have saved hers. So that was
genius.
Yeah, so that's how quick we had to turn it around, and then we had like approval on it 2 days after that. So this was all like a 5-day thing to get the 90-second version that's in the movie. We had to like do that so quick.
Dude, the mixing on the movie version is like amazing, by the way. Whoever mixed it, like, holy crap.
Sounds good.
I was watching the music video. I was trying to listen to it on Spotify today, but my Spotify was being weird. So I was like, well, fuck you, Spotify.
I had it there.
And so I went back to YouTube, and YouTube's good, but YouTube does like its own thing in terms of compression. Mm-hmm. But when I watched the movie, I finished it this morning because I started last night, and then I was like, all right, I'm old. I need to go to bed.
Yeah.
And I woke up today, did some stuff, and caught the end of it. And immediately when it hits into the song and her vocals pop in, I was like, holy shit, the clarity is so good. I was like, you can understand everything. There's no fighting with the guitar at all. It's like, it was like right where you want vocals to be. So I really appreciated that. But yeah, I was super happy when you hit me up for this, because I love that we're living in this weird era of like children's cartoon horror movies. Like, we got Winnie the Pooh 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
And David Howard Thornton's about to drop Screamboat this month in April.
Oh, that's finally coming out, huh?
Yep. So I mean, we're kind of living in the era of like taking our childhood memories and making them brutal as fuck.
Yeah.
I love that. Like, I think the patents have lifted, or like it's like 100 years public domain.
The Steamboat Willie one, it ran out. So Steamboat Willie is public domain now. So anyone can do anything with it. But like, I love that we're living in that era. And I think honestly, out of all the ones I've watched, just aside from the song, the movie itself, it's got to be one of the best ones I've seen.
That's
like,
awesome. Yeah,
it's hokey, it's
really
cheesy.
fun.
Yeah, like it kind of reminded me, Dustin, of the casting of Frank Stone, that DBD video game.
Oh, yeah.
It's got that big, like, we're going into an abandoned factory to make a documentary kind of a vibe, and then it all goes wrong. Like, it very much fits in that vein. And I mean, even when you think of Until Dawn, the movie coming out soon, I drew parallels to that as well from this movie. And I was like, what a good place for this movie to be out. And what a good IP to like put your name on with. Like, honestly, this
it's goofy, but it's smart.
It broadens the resume, because you've already done Killer Clown's cover, which I've had stuck in my head for the last couple years. I'm not gonna lie. And I was gonna bring something up to you, by the way. I saw that Ryan Gosling is doing he's producing one, right?
I just saw that yesterday.
Dude, hit him up. I got the song, man. We released it. I mean, how cool would that be to get your song on another big movie coming out? Like,
that would be incredible. I'm definitely gonna try to make that happen. I'm not sure. I've got to like figure out.
Don't worry. When I see Ryan Gosling at Muay Thai training, that I totally do. I will let him know
in Bellevue.
Tell him old Dust sent you.
Old Dust sent me here. Yeah. No,
I mean,
that's so cool though. I just saw that the other day. It was like some BuzzFeed article or something, and I was like, oh my god, dude, you got to at least see if there's anyone you know that could get you in touch, because that would be wild.
Trending Twitter hashtag, get on Blue Sky, just start retweeting, just bomb, just everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do that, Dustin. We should just make a campaign. Yeah,
if it's already there,
hey,
why not help?
Should happen. Like that'd be freaking cool. I'm gonna start making social posts that are just like, why not? You know?
Yeah. Well, I'd appreciate that. I've got to figure out how to. That's the hard part, is like figuring out how to get the song in front of the right person, the decision maker, whoever that is. You know, like I don't know if it's often, you know, between producers and music supervisors. So yeah, that would be like a dream come true if that happened, you know, like, you know,
well, you have the logical step right directly in that direction right now. Like I said, people asked you, can you make a theme song? You're like, I've already made one. And then it's already been popular for like another, like not like niche. A lot of people know it, but again, it's at this day and age, it's like, it's a direct IP. People that love it. And if it's got that big, I see a direct path. I'm not trying to just gas you up here. Like,
no, I think it's possible. I think
it's really entirely possible if you already have all the tools. Just throw it out there.
I mean, you got this one as a resume starter as far as getting a song on a movie, you know? Throw that out there and be like, well, we just did this, and this would be the logical next step is in terms of like where the music's going to go. And so with that in mind, is The Man from Alphabet, is that going to be specifically horror based music?
That wasn't the intention, but it's kind of going that way.
Yeah.
Like just the natural progression of it. And again, that wasn't my intention. I really kind of started this thing as a music collective, just so I could make music with any random friends that I want to.
Yeah.
And not have to like start a whole new project and a whole new band name and stuff every time. So I really do view The Man from Alphabet as like a music collective more than like a band. So that's why, to me, it felt like it was okay to have a different singer on Killer Clowns from Outer Space and Popeye, and you know, they're pretty different sounding things in that regard, and it feels like it's fine. It doesn't.
I think that's a cool lane to lean into, though. You know, like there's not a lot of bands that kind of have that direction entirely, and not that you do, and not that you have to. I mean, you can still come out with an album that has nothing to do with any IPs, but I think you found something that's working and it's continued to kind of move upwards. See where it goes. You never know, man. There might be a movie that comes out next year and you're like, I know what I could write for that. Like that could kind of be your thing. And I was going to bring this up as well. I got a friend in town. He's part of Hodgebob Productions. He's a director, and he's worked with Kaufman, like Lloyd Kaufman from Trauma, and does a couple different movies with him. He just got the rights to Orgy of the Dead, and he's making a sequel to it, which is like the craziest thing I ever fucking heard. I don't know if you're familiar with Orgy of the Dead. It's like 1960s kind of erotic horror movie.
Is it a Trauma movie?
No, I don't think this one is. I think he's doing this as actually, you know, I don't want to say anything because it actually might be, and maybe I'm not remembering right, but
you might be fucking it up.
I might be fucking it up right now, but I know he just started like releasing Indiegogo like plans and stuff for rewards, and I don't know. I think maybe reach out to that guy. That'd be a really cool movie to get another song on, you know?
I'd definitely be interested in connecting with this guy and
seeing
what we could do. Because that would be awesome. I would love for that to just become my thing. It's just writing theme songs and stuff. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and even if it's not a theme song, even if it's just, you know, related song to the movie, even if you get on a soundtrack or anything like that, like That'd be really cool because I could just as well see anything you're writing being like in the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think you do really well at performing under pressure. In terms of like what happened with Popeye, you had to crank something out, like,
yeah,
and like do it in the most like analytical way to where you're not like backpedaling or losing time or any of that. Like a lot of people can't do that, man. So, I mean, maybe there's something there.
Yeah, that was definitely a big part of it was, you know, time was of the essence. You know, we knew like it was like we have to get this thing done as soon as possible because it was basically like, you know, if we don't have it done, they just use something else.
Yeah.
Then we lose it. But yeah, thankfully, you know, we were smart about it. Kyle is like an incredibly efficient engineer and musician. So like his ability to like just hear the riffs I came up with and write the drums as well as he did like right away. And he and I also played guitar on it. So you know, like the initial riffs were written by me, and then like all the like kind of secondary and harmonies and stuff on guitars were written by him and recorded by him. So he's just so quick, and if I didn't have him, his ability to do that and having a studio that, you know, that he's got ready to go with drums mic'd up, all the, you know, it's like he didn't have all that and his level of efficiency, like this wouldn't have worked. And, you know, it's also kind of like why we had to like get the vocal melodies like laid down and just have it ready to go because there just wasn't time to do it any other way. So
working under pressure like that.
Yeah, luckily we were able to have a little bit more time with well, actually the full version, you know, so the story I described to you was the 90-second version, the abbreviated version for the credits, and then the full version sort of turned into a similar situation too, unfortunately. So we were like under a lot of pressure to get that one done super quick as well.
I bet. No, and I love the music video. I think it goes really well, and the whole play on spinach. And I was kind of making the connection, as you said, you had met her through the vegan community, that this is a bad guy that's eating spinach.
I know.
And that is what's turning him into a villain. And then the whole spinach through line with the music video, I was like, man, it's just in everything you do, and I love that.
The irony is
the
not
Killer
lost.
Clowns music video had the whole vegan Fight Club thing going on.
Oh yeah.
So like, I love that you're kind of just like leaving these little Easter eggs in everything you're doing, whether you mean to or not. It's just kind of happening. So like, we'll see. Maybe you'll get like a Swamp Thing remake.
Oh my god, that'd be awesome.
How crazy would that be?
The vegetation.
More vegetation.
Yeah, evil
hey Cosmo.
Yeah, he's
I love
he's
so
You're
much.
stealing the show, dude. This is what YouTube is for. It's for cats.
Real quick before we move on here, I wanted to, if anyone's watching this, listening to this, and you still are on the fence about this movie, I want to play the trailer real quick. Just watch it so everyone here can kind of see what we're talking about.
Is it gonna be in the back?
What the hell is all this stuff for?
It's the equipment I checked out for my documentary.
Oh, is this that pirate man thing you were going on about in class?
Sailor man. Tonight's the last night we can get inside.
They are, you know, aware of the charming stories circulating about this place.
I don't believe in ghost stories.
He's not a ghost. The Sailor Man is real. He doesn't take kindly to visitors stopping on his doorstep.
If she's just doing some school project, then why won't she just pick the phone up?
Oh yeah? What should I do? She said they're going to be at the old canning factory, right? Let's go down there.
Do you know why the factory closed down 20 years ago? There was a spinach contamination.
Oh yeah. What? Oh yeah.
Yeah, Dude, that was brutal as hell. Like seriously, like I loved the brutality in this, by the way. So
it's so fun. It's such a fun movie. It's just like I love all the practical effects, and it's like the right level of kind of like I don't know what the right word is. I don't want to call it corny because
it's cheeseball is what I call it, and it's the same reason why I love slashers from the late 60s to the mid 80s is they had that certain level of like, well, the story kind of has to go this way and it all leads into the kills, and I think it's just like perfect in that term.
Yeah, it's kind of just the absurdity of it makes it like a really fun movie to watch. I actually expected it to be like kind of initially before I saw it, I thought it was going to actually be like scary.
Oh really?
Yeah, and then I saw it, you know, when I went to the premiere, and it's like people were like laughing a lot, and you know, it's like a full movie theater of people, and and there was a lot of laughter through it, and I'm like, oh, this is so fun. It's just it was great.
I'm glad that it translates that way, because that's what I was just like envisioning. It'd be like, this would probably be something fun, like if you just had, whether you're by yourself just throwing on a movie and you just wanted to like, I just want to throw something on, but also like if you had like 4 or 5 of your friends over and you're like, we're having some beers, and I'm like, you want to watch something silly, like, but like also in a way that like it just drags you through. Like I said, you watched all of it, and like I like what I'm seeing. Like it makes it makes sense to me. Like in all of this, like I think there's plenty of room in the world for this. We have
for sure. Like
I did a whole big, I hate to tell this back to me, but it's like I've been really thinking about what after, like, first of all, like the SAG-AFTRA strike that happened a while ago, and COVID, and all these other production things that we've been lucky that, like, honestly, we're lucky that we're not in like a giant rut of anything triple A right now, especially because those things just take so much money and time. But I think this is like a perfect time for indie movies and indie video games and like fucking indie bands even to get on the road. Like everyone's coming out of the other side of a crazy pandemic. Everyone's going through shortages in supply chains. So like if you have anything or any time, like it's the perfect time where if you've already had something to throw it out there. And like I, for one, welcome it. Because I mean, if I really want that AAA experience or like a hard, crazy movie, like they're gonna be there. They're always gonna have the time. Like this is the time to give something like we need shit that's just fun.
It's a new renaissance, is what it is. And I told me and Dusty were having a conversation the other day about like COVID and how it affected, you know, the arts and movies and music and live performance. And a point that I made, and I still kind of stick to, is for good or for bad in that term. What it did is it kind of hit a hard reset on the creative community. And people either did one of two things. They either didn't do anything at all and were just like, man, whatever, I'm going to stay home. Or they were like, I'm going to take this as an opportunity and create. And not stop and adapt. And if we never have concerts for 5 years, I'll have 5 albums to record. You know what I mean? And I think it hit a hard reset on everything. So now you see everyone that's just so much more grateful for these things. We don't take it for granted as much as we did then. And I think COVID is partially responsible for that, because we didn't have this wealth of experience until after it subsided. And now it's like 5 years later and things are just so hyper intense because everyone had all this shit bottled up inside of them for 2 years and was like, now I can do it. Now it's available. Now we can play. Like, it's just fun to see. And we are truly in a renaissance of that kind of stuff. And like I was saying earlier, like we're in this weird phase where the 2020s are going to be known as like the children's cartoon horror. No, it just is. And I think it's fun because it's also in the time of like Terrifier movies, where me and my wife went to go see the 3rd one last year and we were laughing harder than anyone. People like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I was like, this is hilarious. What are you talking about?
We're separating. It's a movie.
Someone's naked in a dorm room shower getting chainsawed in half, and I'm not supposed to laugh at that when he goes through his dick and balls? Like, come on. That's made to be funny. Like,
that's made to be funny.
Like, come on. And so, like, that's why when you say people are laughing in that premiere, I think, dude, that movie knows what it is.
It's good.
It's just self-aware. And if people are having that good of a time, then it's clearly a W. Like, so I honestly hope they make a sequel because they kind of set it up for one.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was telling my wife, I was like, I would watch that. I would watch that sequel. And honestly, I wouldn't have crazy high expectations, and I'm sure it would still be really, really good.
I think I'm hoping they do a sequel too, because I thought the movie is so like I said, it's just really fun
Yeah.
to watch. And I like that they gave the character a little bit more depth than I would have expected to, and a bit of a backstory. And it's just not like just some murdery guy. There's like, oh, you kind of feel a little bit of compassion for him in a sense.
He's not really the bad guy. It's like one of those rare movies where the killer isn't the bad guy. And then there's like a dick that he like kills and you're like, yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But then by the end you're like, oh, poor guy. Like you never feel like he's like Art the Clown or anything like that. Sorry to keep going back to Terrifier, but like you don't feel like he's the villain ever, but he's the one killing everybody. So it's just very conflicting, in a
like
good way.
Is that like considered an anti-hero?
Yeah,
like,
for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, to go back to something you said earlier though, is like about people coming out of the pandemic with a lot of creative drive. It's like I think for me, and I think this tends to be true for a lot of people, is we get most creative when we are idle or don't have as much to do. You're like you're not preoccupied with other things. And so like a lot of people say like, oh, I get really good ideas when I'm in the shower, because your brain is just sort of wandering. And I think that COVID may be even the result of, like a lot of the creative stuff that came out of COVID is sort of the result of that, where people had more time to be sort of idling and sitting around and like, oh, well, I'm going to sit here. What can I make? Or your mind just wanders and starts wanting to do things. And for a lot of people too, like myself, it gave me, I had wanted to do that Killer Clowns thing forever.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, well, I think now's the time to do it. It's one of those things where I just was like too overwhelmed by trying to have the time to actually put that project together. And the pandemic sort of gave me the opportunity to do that. So,
for sure. And now you're like doing stuff that I'm sure you wouldn't have even thought about doing before the pandemic, and it's kind of like changed up where you want to go and how you want to go there. And I think that's honestly something that like I look back and yes, it was a scary time and it was terrible and should have never happened, but at least creatives could find that comfort in those times where they could like go home, lick their wounds, and then start creating again, and I'm honestly in the point now in life where I'm like, I wouldn't mind having another 6 months off work or something. So somebody wants to like spill a giant vat of chemicals in a major city and we can close everything down for 6 months. I'm cool with that. Like,
yeah, as long as we all know there's like, we're all going to be okay.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's the concern. But yeah.
I think we just described another trauma movie or something. By the way.
Oh yeah, maybe we did.
Yeah.
And all the creative stuff that comes out from it just starts doing something crazy. Like
starts doing some crazy shit.
It's like people's creativity starts intoxicating the air and everything gets even weirder or something.
Oh yeah, what if it's like that Adam Sandler movie where he's telling bedtime stories and they come true, but instead of that, it's like everything you think and imagine just turns real in front of you, and so everyone's like, "What the fuck?" Like, that'd be insane.
Imagination Land, like in South Park.
It's like that's a Bird Box movie where you can't see anything or else you die. Yeah. But in this one, you can't imagine anything or you die.
Well, how do you
exactly? You would have to live such a boring life of like repetition and no thought. Like
all I'm thinking about is carrots.
It's like another 1984
of food. And they're not dangerous.
So what's next? What do you want to do next? Is Pariah making moves? Is Alphabet making moves? Yeah, what are we looking towards right now?
Yeah, great question. Pariah, we're trying to figure out any sort of live show situation. So, you guys may or may not know, but we're like, Pariah is like 100% long distance band.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cause, we've got one guy in, Washington, I'm in LA, one guy in Connecticut and one guy in Omaha. So pretty much if we're going to do, shows, it's got to be like probably a handful of shows and ideally more like a festival thing. So like I'd love to get us on some of these bigger, even if we're more like an opening slot ish thing on a bigger festival of bands from our era, that would be kind of the ideal situation. Or getting on a tour like being able to be on a tour where we're opening for somebody. So I don't know that we're in a position to be like headlining a tour.
Right.
Yeah, but that's how you get there. You do a couple of those and see where it goes. That's
cool.
we
may have been in a better position to do that back 20 years ago.
Well, who wasn't?
As long as you're still releasing music in this day and age, I mean, like you said, like getting onto like a weekend in one area, or being able to like, hey, this band's gonna be a perfect fit. We know we'll sell some merch. We can make some money, but then just go from like one major market through to like another major market. Everybody can fly home from like LAX or something. You know what I mean? Like logistics. I see what you're saying, but like I think that there's a logical path for doing that. I think it's what like a lot of bands that aren't just trying to road dog it still.
Yeah.
Because you do, plenty of people that we've talked to have been like, unless I'm planning 30 dates, like, especially as a headliner, I don't know if it's worth it. I want to pay my guys. I want to pay these other bands. And there's a million behind inside baseball kind of things that go on in these decisions. But while you're in that area to just like, hey, we all meet up in Miami and then we go up to like Nashville and fly out, like something like that. Like, that'd be cool. Like, and I think that's like a logical way to be able to get your name out to a huge area. Like, it makes sense. And we're just excited to see you guys fucking do it. Like, so wherever it goes.
I hope that all works out, man.
I mean, like an ideal situation, I think, would be, if we were able to get like a slot on Furnace Fest and then play some shows on the way there or on the way back or something. I definitely would like to do like an Omaha show.
That'd be sick.
And whatever run we do, because that's obviously our hometown, so that would be awesome.
Hell yeah.
So then aside from that, so that's kind of current things with Pariah. With the Man from Alphabet, I have another song tracked that I'm mixing right now. It's a cover of this is a pretty this is kind of obscure, maybe you guys know it. Did you ever hear Weird Al's song called Nature Trail to Hell?
You're covering that?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know as much, but he definitely does. So
I'm really happy about this.
It's from that album. That song came out like legitimately 41 years ago, and it's the last track on his album called In 3D, which I think is his second album.
Yeah, that's old as shit. That came out before I even knew who Weird Al was.
Yeah,
and probably was alive.
Yeah, it came out in 1984.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was still, a toddler when this thing came out.
That's crazy.
I think that's correct. But so I've tracked that. So I'll be getting that like mixed and mastered and out into the world soon.
That's awesome.
And it's cool. I had some extra people on this that jumped into the Man from Alphabet that I haven't had before, because again, I look at this as a collective. So I'm just like, who are some interesting people for like specific things on this? So I've got some cool stuff happening with that. And
so obviously you had to talk to Al about this, right?
No,
you don't. There's no you don't have to, or
no, because Weird Al fought for our laws of parody, brother.
That's true.
Is what he's doing.
I'm just saying, like, I was wondering because I know you've met the man.
Weird Al, our savior and saint.
Did that ever come up? Did you ever bring it up to him?
No, I have met him 5 times, but none of which I had this in the works at that point. So
maybe he'll reach out to you and be like, "Hey, I really liked it.
I really like this. Not bad. We should be friends.
Let's do a collaboration." Yeah, that'd be sick.
So so I got to wrap that thing up, and hopefully I'll get that done soon.
Hell yeah.
That one has been. I started working on it before the Popeye thing, and then Popeye just kind of consumed all my attention. As you guys know, like outside of just writing the music, I don't have like a manager or anything, so all the administrative stuff that goes on top of this like typically falls on me, or a lot of it, the bulk of it does, a lot of it does. So there's been a lot to do on that side of things too. So
I can imagine.
Dustin, we need a manager.
Yeah.
We freaking do, man. Like
that's such a good point. I need a manager.
I would love to have one. Just be like, hey, I released the music. Go and register it.
Manage us.
Take care of my contracts, and That would be so nice.
But then they want money, and I have none.
No,
Yeah.
you just get a really good friend who just wants to go to things for free.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Did you? Okay. Like, I'm just going to, like, this might be one of those things where it's like, did you ever do that when you were a kid? And you're like, no, you're weird. But like, I think like both the first two bands that I had when you're in high school, like we had a friend that would just always be at the house we'd practice at anyways. And then just be like, all right, man, you're the band manager. Like, what does that mean? Like, and you need you to find gigs and find babes and bring them to the show. That's it. Like, they didn't do anything. They never did anything. They would just hang out. And then I go to school, be like, yeah, you see those guys? I manage their band. Like,
yeah.
Sick, dude. And be like, no, you don't, Nathan.
What do you do?
Bring me a like, but no, but at this, I just always remember thinking back. I was like, it would be nice to have a band manager. Technically, I did, but that was just silly. But no, it would be nice to have someone like, again, we all could get to the point where we had assistant level importance and work, but we're working on, we're trying.
You got it. That's why you got to lay the groundwork yourself and get to that point. And then you have you have to have somebody who has as much, if not more, preferably more knowledge about what you're doing, all the administrative stuff as you do, right. And somebody that's going to care about getting the stuff done as much as you do. Cause that's the worst, is you don't want to have somebody that's like, you give all this power and control to, and then they don't understand the job, or they don't care about it as much as you do. And this is the stuff that you love to make and to create. So you put that in someone's hands, and I expect a lot out of them. And it's hard to find somebody who's gonna care about it as much as you do, unless there's a financial reward.
Right. I get that totally, man. I understand that.
That's wise advice, though. Like I said, it's just, that person should arguably, you might be able to perform in a certain, it's like, what was that show, Suits? Like, there's the main guy who's like, I care more about having this one assistant than I do being at this entire place, because I know that she can actually do the work that I'm trying to do. We understand each other, and I wouldn't have anybody else be like my teammate, even though I'm the one on the floor performing. But I mean, I think that's valuable if you find someone like that. All the jokes about Nate was a great manager, man. No, but jokes aside, I think it was. Yeah, I think that's valuable advice for anybody that's starting to find their way. And if they run into success or money and they have no idea what to do with it, don't be a fool. Just hold on to it and do you until you know that where you're at is being bought into, both with your brain and your heart at the same time. But,
yeah, that's definitely true. And it definitely would have been nice to have someone like that on in this situation. Thankfully, Angela, the vocalist in the Popeye and Sailor to Slayer, and the actress in the movie, she's also an associate producer on the film. So
cool.
She is that woman is really, she's very smart and very knowledgeable. So having her work on this stuff with us was a win in so many different ways. She obviously did everything she does, she really commits to it. So even though this was her first time singing with a band, it's she went into the studio and she emoted, she performed it, she really pushed it out, because I didn't really know what to expect. I hadn't heard her sing before. She's just I audition for roles where I'm singing, and I do karaoke, and I'm like, all right, well, let's see what you got.
I never would have known, to be honest.
She's great. Yeah. I think she's great.
She doesn't hold back, so had she gone in there and been I'm uncomfortable here, I'm timid and not done it, but it's she went in full force the second she stepped in the studio, and then her performance on that song was great. And when we were shooting the music video, I kind of had the same thing. I'm like, I don't know how, she's never rocked out with a band, for lack of a better term. I don't know what she's gonna do. And then while we're doing recording that video, I'm kind of running around doing a lot of things, because we rented a space, but each space that I recorded my solo spots in one thing, and guitarist in another spot, and then kind of the whole band in the spot. So I'm kind of running around helping get all those things prepped. So when the camera moves to the next location, it's done and ready to go.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I wonder how Angela's doing because I don't know what she's going to be like. And the first thing she shot was those the scenes of her where she's like in this narrow hallway, like kind of straight on with the camera, and I kind of like peeked into it, and she was just like having a blast and like, you know, headbanging and kicking. I'm like, okay, good.
It's gonna work. Hell yeah, bro.
And I know she's like got a bit of a dance background and stuff like that, and she's into fitness and stuff. So I'm like, I know she's gonna like give it her all and let loose with it. And she really knocked it out of the park.
That's awesome. I agree, especially knowing more that like this isn't something that she's ever done. It's adjacent, sure, but like
yeah.
That's a full rounded talent, especially if she's writing and producing. Like, seems like an interesting person to know for sure.
Yeah,
all the way around.
Definitely.
But well, man, we could do this for. It's like a friend again that we just talk to on the phone like every few months, man. It's like, so you were like one of our first episodes, if not like the first. I have to look it back because we did some but like the very first episode we had on the show. And this has also been one of the things that like you've came on so many times throughout the Geekly. It's just easy to talk to you. And so now that we're 4 seasons in somehow already, and we've had a lot of people that we've met because of you, or have been like being able to mention that they were like, oh yeah, no, good friend, or like, yeah, I've mentioned I've worked with him. So like, you're all over everything we do, man. And we appreciate everything that you do. And thanks for hanging out with us as always.
Oh, man.
So, dude, I can't wait to see where Alphabet goes next. And honestly, I will hit up my buddy AJ and see if they're looking for any kind of music, because I think this is something you should keep going with, man. Like, who knows what movie you can get on next with a song. And I mean, maybe I'd love to even see you in a movie sometime. That'd be cool.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's one of the goals. Keep doing this kind of stuff and just being creative and having fun. I'd love to be getting into actually being in movies, but man, writing music for movies is pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah,
hoping I get to do that, and it's always really good to see you guys and hang out and chat. Like I'm always like really grateful that we have like created this friendship through this. Doing this
for sure.
And,
we've brought it up multiple times. We're like, we need to get out there and see Dustin. Like, get an Airbnb for like 3 or 4 days. Just come hang out and see your world, man. Because I mean, you know ours.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have been watching Metal Massacre with the one and only Dustin Treinen. Have a great day and be good people.